Hi everyone, I'm DDDweller, and today we are back with more Stranded Alien Dawn exploring seeds that you, the viewers, have recommended to me down in the comment section of my videos. And I'm really excited because today we're going to explore all of those recommendations, and we're gonna go ahead and change our seed name to the first one that we're looking at today, which is Fun Sock. The reason this one was suggested is because it comes with a lot of flat landscape and good gardening. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, and we're gonna go ahead and set up our game rules for all of this to random survivors and new big family. Not that I think we'll stick around long enough for that to come into play, but you never know. It'd be pretty radical to have a walk-in on the first day before camp is even set up. And I'm going to go ahead and keep them Sobrius region unless indicated otherwise that it was a Desertum seed suggestion, which we do have a few of, but for the most part we are going to default to Sobrius. If that was not your intent and it was your comment when you recommended the seed, let me know in the comments of this video and we'll try to fix that in a future video. Well, they were absolutely correct about the long stretch of flat landscape. We have a really nice valley here that we can explore and build in. I'm already seeing tons of resources. Here we have our tall grass. We have up here our melons, a nest very close by. So if you're someone who really wants to get that carbon technology out of these nests and you don't want to walk days to get back to camp after harvesting all of that, this would be super convenient. I'm seeing some sweet syrups up here past the nest. If you want to build with rock, there's plenty of that. Oh, here's some cotton and the orange mushrooms that I really like. Lots and lots and lots and just lots of opportunity to retrofit some old metals into something new here. And there's another one here as well. Yeah, there's lots and lots of opportunity to scavenge, and it's raining, but that does not diminish how cool the seed looks. Actually, it looks pretty cool with the rain falling over the ground here. I do think that this is a really good seed for expansive building. There's a lot of wood, but there's also a lot of stone for mining. And herds for herding. Now that we have the new tame and train update, I would definitely want to domesticate these fellas right here. Last but not least, let's go ahead and take a look at the breakthroughs for this seed, Fun Sock. So we have sleep training, chitlin synthetics, we have hay cloth, and we have full fuel fermentation, which is a big one, as well as improved railgun snipers. So I will definitely settle for the breakthrough technologies that come with fuel fermentation like 9 times out of 10, because that in and of itself is a huge boost, especially in early game. I agree with this recommendation. I think this seed was a really good referral. And next up, we are going to check out a very popular seed, and that is the seed Lara. And I have seen this referred in multiple places, not only in the comments section of my videos where I've had multiple people recommend it, but also in some articles that I had read suggesting seeds and in other YouTubers' videos as well. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look. All right, we are now at the infamous Lara seed, and it's very mountainous. There's what feels like an infinite amount of wood, so you can definitely build a lot with wood. I'm seeing directly beside our crash zone some cloth blossom. Here we have some grain cob as well. We have our other cloth textile over here, the skin bark, and some silicone leaves. Actually, quite a lot of them, to be honest. That's quite a grouping right there. Melons are just a little ways in this direction. We have our bushel fruits, plenty of berries. Holy smokes, that's a lot of berries. I was told in the comment by a commenter that Lara comes with just about everything except for true root. While it may exist on this map, the person who had suggested it had not yet found it in this location, so perhaps it's on the edges of the playable map. I don't know, because I haven't played it, so I'm not sure how difficult finding true root is or isn't, but otherwise, true root aside, everything else is supposedly in abundance. So let's go ahead and take a look at what breakthroughs come with this seed. We again have chitlin synthetics, hay cloth, but also improved laser pistols, improved pulse rifles, and improved railgun snipers. This is an armory heavy seed. You are going to be able to beef up your military capabilities pretty quickly, I think, with this seed. So if that is something that really works well with your play style, this probably is a great seed, especially for anyone who wants to play on very hard or extremely hard mode. All right, next up we have Street Tack Gold. And this one is interesting because this was recommended, and then the next one that we're gonna look at was a typo of this that happened to be a happy surprise. So we're gonna take a look at both, starting first with Street Gold. All right, I'm seeing lots of these orange grass, like grainy grass plants. I love being able to harvest all of the wild grown resources nearby without having to even farm for my first like summer and spring leading into winter, because then we can stock up, because farming can be quite time consuming. So we're also seeing lots of silicone leaves. We have our sweet syrups, our smoke leaves over here. We have melons. We have all the standard ready-made resources. We have a cute little pond. That said, we need to check out our breakthroughs. So, meat printing, graphene solar cells, carbon wind turbines, improved railgun snipers, and carbon armor. You're looking at an increased or an improved solar cell and also an improved wind power resource. So not bad, especially if you're trying to build something that is going to drain a lot of electrical power. Something if you want like a really high-tech base, you're gonna want a good generation of power. And I'm sure you're not gonna wanna like lean into a diesel generator, for instance, because you're gonna be going through a lot of fuel if you're trying to build a very high-tech base. So something like this, graphene solar panels and carbon wind turbines, I would imagine would be really great for that type of a setup. So this might be, specifically with these breakthroughs, this might be a great base for that play style. All right, so as I had mentioned before, we are gonna take a look now at the typoed version, the Fun Discovery, the Happy Accident seed. And this one is spelled S-T-E-E-R-T, TAC, G-O-L-D. And we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this and see how that compares to the other version. Just that aerial view coming down for the crash landing was enough. I'm already talking too soon because I'm excited, but I think all the debris has fallen now. So let's first, without even rotating the camera, look at what we have here. I mean, we have this beautiful little like pond over here, and look how beautiful that is. It's right next to this gorgeous rock formation. It's got this beautiful like tree cover and beef berries. We have green cobs right here. Our orange mushrooms as well. Lots and lots and lots of skin bark, some melons. I haven't even turned around yet, and I'm already seeing all of these things. If I was crash landed on this planet, I would want a gorgeous little lagoon to go swimming in like this. That is just fantastic. Turning around now, let's take a look at the rest. Oh, that is something else, folks. I mean, we're literally crashed on the beach. This is waterfront property. We have all of the resources. We had beef berries at the lagoon. We've got sweet syrups here. We've got our bushel fruits. We have these shiny rocks to research and mine. Lots and lots of wood to build with. If you were trying to build like a planet resort to bring in tourism and encourage other people to move to planet and establish a society, this would certainly be a great seed. So let's go ahead and look at our breakthroughs. Graphene solar panels and carbon wind turbines, again, just like Street Gold. We have printed components rather than, I believe the other one said meat printing. So this is similar but different. We have battery optimization, which is definitely one that I feel very strongly about because I like to be able to store the excess energy that we're generating when we are setting up our electrical grid. And Carbon Arbor, I would say this is a great breakthrough lineup paired with an absolutely devastatingly gorgeous landscape. Highly, highly, highly recommend this seed, and I'm super grateful for the recommendation. Thank you so much. Our next seed is going to be a Desertum playthrough seed, and this one is called Row Effect. And we're gonna go ahead and switch our region to Desertum and game rules so that we can jump right in. Let's take a look. Okay, I think that might be all the falling debris, so let's talk about this seed. I am devastated. I'm horrified that I did not know about this place before I started my Desertum run through last week because holy moly, I thought I had a gorgeous waterfront seed. We are literally crashed into a patch of cloth blossom like 5 steps away. I could set this to research and somebody would be there in a second. And we have skin bark right here, and we just have so much more cloth blossom dotted along this like canyon. I think we're in a canyon, so we've got all of this going on here. Lots of wood, especially for Desertum region. There is just so many trees. I am kind of astounded at how much wood there is here. So many trees. I'm seeing orange mushrooms over here. We have our T-ball drinks as well right here. We've barely even left the wreckage site. I gotta look at the water. Because I know I would build over here by the water. Because aside from just being beautiful, it's also very strategic because if you build your back to the water or your front or whatever, you build one of your sides to the water, you have a natural barrier from predators. They can't attack you from that side. Why wouldn't you want to do that? And you're also just going to enjoy the beautiful tranquility of being next to water. And also, let's just take a moment to appreciate these like rock formations that are just like jutting out of the water. It's such a unique sort of like landscape. I am so tempted to restart my Desertum playthrough just so that we can like play here instead. And that's no small thing because we already have 6 characters in the other playthrough and we've already tamed the Dromeda. That would be a lot of ground to have to make back up if we moved here. All of that in mind, I mean, is it worth it though? Because this is, I haven't looked at the breakthroughs yet, but this might be the perfect Desertum seed. It's the most gorgeous one I've seen. So we're on the other side of the beach here. I will say all of this, as gorgeous as it is out of bounds, except this is not. Interesting. So we could cut this corner, I think. I can select these. Okay, we can cut this corner. We just can't go out here to like this little pond here or this lane that's jutted out here. For all intents and purposes, we could build right here on the line, like put our back to basically the boundary of the map. We know nothing's gonna attack us from over here. We've got all these little ponds here that we could work into our infrastructure, but you're also going to have to deal with this nest over here. And for some people, that's a good thing. They like building and dealing with nests. They like being close to a nest because it's a very precious resource in and of itself. Our breakthroughs for this seed are sleep training, printed components, improved power cells, and battery optimization, all of which are really great, and improved railgun snipers. So I think that's a decent hand. Battery optimization, improved power, our solar cells, printed components I hear is really great for crafting. I haven't tried it yet, but I trust you guys. Okay, so the next one on our list is one we've seen before, but we are revisiting this one because in the previous video, we did not touch on breakthroughs. And it was brought to my attention in the comments of that previous seeds video, how outstanding the breakthroughs were for this seed. So we're gonna pop in here, take another look at brown smoke, and this is coming not from myself, even though I had recommended it in the first video, but from you, the viewers, who have tested it out. It's worth bringing back up again. So right off the bat, like we do, we notice our resources. We have the melons right here, and these will go a long way. Those were great. We have some skin bark, terrific. We also have, let me rotate around, oh, there we go. In this really cool rock formation, this little arch, we have our sweet syrups. We also have a little bit of rock resource for mining. Turn around and we have ourselves a very mountainous region, and we can go between these hills to find a couple more things. Our silicone leaf, our smoke leaf, but my favorite part is if we just climb this hill here, we're seeing that beautiful view. And I believe this is the exact same lake that we crashed into for a sturt gold. But we were obviously down here on the lake itself before, and now we're back here in the mountains. So if you prefer the mountains with a distant lakeside view, this is a great spot. But we're kind of looking at the exact same map, just a different crash landing zone. What I think we do need to look at now is the breakthroughs. What we're looking at here is printed components, fuel fermentation, battery optimization, balloon optimization, and improved pulse rifles. This is kind of the epitome of breakthroughs. I was really impressed when you came back to my channel and commented and let me know. Fuel fermentation, need I say more? We all love a good fuel fermentation breakthrough. Balloon optimization, getting the balloon off the ground early in game is so important, and it helps you with recruitment, it helps you with discoveries, and then of course anything to improve your armament is a good thing because we want to be able to fight off the hostiles, so having improved pulse rifles is not too shabby either. We are revisiting one more from our former list, and the reason being, I was not the first person to suggest this. We are going to revisit LLL, which has been brought up in multiple locations, just like the Lara seed. There is something we did not touch on in the previous video that I think is worth correcting now. So let's go ahead and take another look. Okay, first and foremost, all of you will probably have noticed the same thing I noticed. We crash land right on a gorgeous lake inside this mountain pass. It's so beautiful. It's so majestic. We've got the fog rolling in from the hills. I'm not going to go over where all of the resources are in the seed because I feel like we have already done that before, and I will link in the iCards and down in the description the other video. I'll also put a card to it at the very end of this one if you want to check out some of the other seeds that I had recommended in the past. But we do want to look at two things here that we had not noticed before. First of all, breakthroughs. We have Chitlin synthetics, printed components, graphene solar cells, we have carbon wind turbines, and battery optimization, where that comes into play. All of these are great for an advanced base. If you want something that's less log cabin, more modern day convenience, then these things come in handy for sure. Printed components, again, kind of in the same boat there. In Chitlin synthetics, you are going to kill a lot. It's just bound to happen. It's part of the gameplay. It's not just a pretty building sim, it is also a survival sim, so you're gonna have to survive. But that's not the only thing about LLL. It's not just the lake, it's not just the breakthroughs, it's not the nearby resources that are just conveniently located. There's also a rumor that this has a higher than usual opportunity for far more walk-ins, or at least that is the general consensus. So if you are looking for a seed that is going to help you maximize your numbers, this might be a good seed to do that at. I haven't tried it myself yet, so I can't confirm, but I can at least inform of the rumors. Speaking of join rates, here is another seed that has a higher than usual join rate. Of course, we have the new big family option in our rules menu, which should increase your opportunity for new survivors on any seed, but I feel like if you're going to play new big family on a seed that is already known for its increased potential, you're just giving yourself an even greater advantage. Pomtoon, this is a seed known for a higher join rate than usual. We seem to have a lot of these berries in very, very, very close proximity. I'm already seeing through the trees some orange mushrooms. And this way we have some grain cob, we're looking at some of our melons, and I believe I'm seeing this red smoke through these trees, which definitely means we have a nest nearby as well. And let's see, how close are we? Yeah, that's not far. That's a hop skip in and jump away. Turning around, I'm seeing resources like skin bark. I'm seeing the shiny rocks that we can research and mine. Lots of wildlife, which is great for the new Tame and Train update. Beautiful patch of melons here. That's quite a lot of melons, ready for harvest without having to plant a single seed. And certainly an abundance of just berries for days, melons for days, more berries. A winery would do very well on this map. So this seed, once again, just to remind you that this one is particularly useful if you're looking for a higher join rate. But that said, our breakthroughs will be printed components, fuel fermentation, carbon wind turbine, battery optimization, and improved laser pistols. Not a bad lineup of breakthroughs. I can see why this seed was on your list of recommended seeds to check out. Okay, the next seed is Super Seed, and I'm not sure, honestly, if this was meant to be a Sobrius or a Desertum region. All I know is that the commenter recommended this one, particularly because it is challenging. I am going to go ahead, assume that this challenge takes place in the desert, because I think what could be more challenging than the desert itself. I might be wrong. If that's the case, just let me know in the comments and we can revisit this later on in another video. But for now, we're gonna check out this seed in the Desertum region. Well, as far as aesthetics go, I think landing right next to this canyon is very cool. There's this really neat little, I guess like crack in the landscape that just provides a nice point of interest visually. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember what these are used for, but it's definitely something you can research and turn it into something. Turning around and looking the other direction, we have our silicone plants, we have some grain grass here, which is super, super great. We have some animals that we could learn to tame and train. We have a dust storm kicking up. This is a very, very fine, dusty, rocky area. I mean, look at all of those highlighted rocks. There's a lot of mining opportunity here. I think if you're gonna land here, you're gonna build with stone. I think that's inevitable. I'm not seeing an excess of trees, and that alone makes this challenging. I just turned around and I noticed that there's a nest right behind us, so that's challenging point number 2. You are shy on lumber. You're also very, very close to a scorpion nest. I am seeing some cloth blossom right here, and if we wanted to climb down from that plateau we landed on, we do have some T-balls here. We have a vegetable right here. Sorry, I'm gonna zoom in my screen because I know it's a little hard to see on some devices. We have these right here, which are going to produce a nice vegetable for us. Down here, it looks like there's just a lot more growth, which means the soil here is probably a lot more fertile. I would definitely recommend if you're gonna build on the seed. I know if I was gonna build on the seed, I would come down off the hill. Still a ton of stone, so you're not gonna be hurting for mining. You don't even need to start mining up there. You can come down here, start mining immediately in this area. That said, I turn around and again, another nest. This seems to be very nest heavy, this seed, so challenging. I would say so, yeah. You're gonna aggro these guys if you're building down here. You're gonna aggro these guys if you're building up there where you crashed. You're gonna need to be ready to fight them. Breakthroughs, we have ore prospecting, which I don't usually get excited about, but considering how much mining there is on this seed and the lack of lumber in general, ore prospecting might actually go pretty far on this map. Sleep training, graphene solar cells, carbon wind turbines. These we already know what the value is. Improved pulse rifles. Yeah, weapons are definitely a plus in a challenging seed where you're going to be taking on more challenging mobs. Yeah, if you are looking for a challenge, that's great. This is great. This seed definitely provides something different that we haven't looked at yet. So I do appreciate this recommendation. Thank you so much. And I think that this definitely satisfies a different need that we hadn't yet provided a suggestion for. A seed called clock bread. And this one was suggested for all the things. So this one should be quite resourceful. Okay, this definitely looks familiar. I am pretty sure this is the same lake from the, I think it was the LLL seed, which means we don't really need to explore what it is that we're getting out of the landscape resource-wise. You are right. First of all, person's recommending this, that it does have all the things. I could just look in this one direction and probably find the vast majority of them without even having to venture anywhere else. I don't have to pull a 360. It's all sort of like right here in front of me, including this nest on the hill. But let's look at our breakthroughs to see what is different from the LLL seed. We are looking at Chitlin Synthetics for this one, improved solar cells, battery optimization. These two I think go hand in hand. You're gonna be able to get up your electrical grid pretty quickly, and you're gonna be able to improve it even quicker. Your improved pulse rifles and improved railgun snipers. So not only are you benefiting from the technology boost here, you're also benefiting from the armory boost. So you're getting double helpings in both of those two kind of like baskets, which I think is pretty good. That's a well-balanced breakthrough. What are we calling these? Breakthrough? A well-balanced set of breakthroughs. And of course, it goes without saying that the view itself is remarkable. It's going to be something you can build on. And lastly, the other thing that I am noticing here that I didn't point out before is how many of this creature, the flat-headed animal that we're seeing right here up on the bank of the lake. If you're looking for a herd to domesticate, there's one right here. We're already looking at 11 of them all in one place. If you're looking to domesticate a herd in close proximity and rather quickly in game, there's one right here. This seed is called Charlie Horse, and this one was recommended to me because the location. I'm paraphrasing, of course, and I'll put the comment on screen as with all the others to show you what the commenter actually said. But I'm very excited to see this one because I really like aesthetically pleasing seeds. Yeah, I mean, if they went any further, they'd be underwater. That is definitely a point of interest for sure, crashing right here. All right, we're gonna zoom out and take a look around. I really do love that crash landing spot. That is just a whole new level of integrating your crash animation with your landscape, and I certainly appreciate that. We are seeing all of the goods, and I'm gonna look right here. You zoom in real close, look at that, folks. We're seeing beef berries. Look at how many there are right here on this pond we crashed on. I think, just judging by the color of this dirt right here, we're probably seeing a nest, yes. If you do clear out this nest though, I'm seeing other resources nearby that could be very nice to have. That all said, and of course the view itself of the lake, let's take a look at our breakthroughs. We have ore prospecting, hay cloth, meat printing, graphene solar cells, and carbon wind turbines. It has been very competitive with the seeds we've looked at today as far as breakthroughs go. We've had some really stellar breakthroughs, so it's hard to compete. I would say for me personally and my preferences, I don't think that these breakthroughs are 10 out of 10 breakthroughs, but I do think that there is value here, particularly in both the carbon wind turbines and the graphene solar cells. Both of these put together is going to keep your base lit up. You're not gonna have issues with powering your grid. Plant life and wildlife means that if you're into farming, you're going to have a gorgeous ranch. You're gonna have so many animals that you're going to be able to domesticate, but you're also gonna have so many resources that you're gonna be able to grow, and you're gonna have this gorgeous lake to look at and grow it next to. I know it's so temporary. It's a temporary thing because you are going to scavenge and then salvage this, and then it's gonna be gone. But I do just absolutely love how well this has been integrated into the landscape here. That developers looks so good. It's the small things, really. They make such a huge impact. We have Dark Angel, if I can spell, Dark Angel to check out. I believe this one is also Cebrius region, so we're gonna go ahead and pop into our crash animation and see what we got. All right, so immediately off the bat, we have our herd of Ulfin here. And we have these berry plants right here. We have some melons, a few steps away from our crashed landing pod. I'm seeing several skin bark plants, sweet syrups over here, which are great when your people are starving. Those will go a long way and keep them alive, even if they're not super nutritious. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll out a little bit to view what else we have nearby. This area is huge. That's what I think. I honestly can't at a glance pick out where I would want to start building. There's just so much to see, and the space feels so big. You're not closed in by a canyon, and you're not up on a plateau where you have limited surface area at the top of the mountain either. There is so much space here. This one is a very spacious seed. Breakthroughs for this seed are chitlin synthetics, hay cloth, carbon wind turbines, battery optimization, and improved pulse rifles. So you're getting a little bit of everything. As far as mixed bags go with breakthroughs, I would say that this is a mixed bag of breakthroughs. You're getting a little bit of everything. You're getting armory breakthroughs. You're getting technology breakthroughs, like advancement in your electrical and your modern convenience kind of breakthroughs. And you're getting some textile breakthroughs as well with your chitlin synthetics and your hay cloth. If you're looking for a very well-balanced bucket of breakthroughs, this one would satisfy that. I think that this is possibly one of the most balanced breakthroughs that we have seen so far. The commenter suggested the seed specifically for the view, and just looking here over the expanse of land we have available to us to these hazy mountains in the distance, and just looking at the chiseled rock face on here, I agree with them. That is one heck of a view, and I kind of want to get a little closer to it. I mean, that's pretty grand. That is a very grand view. I can see why they would have suggested it for that reason specifically. So Fire Lake, we're gonna check this one out. This person was exploring song titles, if I remember correctly, and that's how they came across and discovered this seed. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and say right away that I have not seen this map in any of the seeds that I've explored before. I've never seen this long jagged canyon, let alone crashed in it. So this is new territory for me, and that's pretty exciting. It's almost like a river. It's so long and thin. You could do just a really long fence and just sort of live inside of it. If you have read The Forest of Hands and Teeth, great book, by the way, but this reminds me of that because I can just imagine the fence that outlines your whole community in this slender sort of like hallway, you know? This has a lot of potential for interesting base building, I think. So I didn't point these out already. I'm seeing the melons here, and yeah, I think we already looked down this direction. We're gonna see a lot of melons, a lot of bushes, especially berry bushes. Our green grass. Flip it around. We've got cotton blossom on this side. How far does it go? How long could you build your long fence? Like if you were gonna build this and make the long channel, like fence the long channel in, you would have to like name it the Serpent Mound or something like that. Like something similar to the Serpent Mound, like what we have in Ohio. Just such an interesting shape, such an opportunity to build something unique. I get why you recommended this seed. What an interesting find, and all because you were typing in song names. That said, let's check out breakthroughs. Did we already look through these? We did not. So breakthroughs for this seed are going to be ore prospecting, carbon wind turbines, improved laser pistols, improved pulse rifles, and carbon armor. I'm not sure how much ore prospecting would come into play here. You are gonna have some mining opportunities here, I would say in the beginning, but unless you come out of the crater or the canyon, you're gonna run through those resources pretty quickly. You might have more opportunity if you venture out though, because it does look like there's more mining potential up here on the main surface. And last but not least, we are going to check out Off-World. This one was recommended particularly because of my love of water, so let's see what it has. Okay, so I'm inclined to think this might be the same lake from Brown Smoke, but it is certainly a different crash landing zone. Here we've basically wrecked into the Great Arch, which means we are steps away from some sweet syrups, which is kind of nice. Especially if you're playing on an extremely hard mode where you're not gonna get a lot of emergency rations in the beginning and you're gonna need food to eat very, very quickly. And these guys can be pretty aggressive, so if you were to domesticate them, they would make for really great like attack dogs, for lack of a better word. They'd make for really great like defensive livestock. Yes, defensive livestock. I haven't tried it yet, but I have my hunches. I'm going to go ahead and skip past the search for resources because we have definitely searched this shoreline in one of the other seeds. So let's go ahead and take a look at our breakthroughs. Breakthroughs for off-world are going to be sleep training, meat printing, printed components, improved laser pistol, and improved pulse rifle. So we have 2 buffs in our armament, and we're also looking at 2 printed component upgrades. Those might be game changers when it comes to your strategy and how you delegate work to your characters. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely loved looking at your seeds. Please keep them coming because it is so exciting to explore new seeds, to see new locations, new crash landing spots, new opportunities, and come up with new visions for other ways to play this game. It makes it new, fresh, fun over and over and over again, and really does lend itself well to repeat gameplay. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please remember to like this video by hitting thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe because we are playing more Stranded Alien Dawn content on this channel all the time. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye!